Every year, the Zonta Club of Burbank picks its Woman of the Year. In 2004, that honor went to Sister Lucille Dean of Providence High School. The Zonta Club gathered at the Castaway Restaurant on November 6th. 33,000 people worldwide are members of Zonta, a service organization of executives and professionals working to improve the status of women. The Zonta Club of Burbank is one of more than 1,200 clubs in nearly 70 countries. As part of the local event, a 5-minute video produced and written by Zonta Club member Nikki Bonner traced the professional life and accomplishments of the Woman of the Year.
Good morning. How's it going?
At Providence High School, Sister Lucille Dean is enjoying her last months as principal.
Tell me, what were you just doing in the library?
These freshmen are still getting to know Sister Lucille and their new school. Over time, they'll appreciate its history and the enormous legacy of the woman who stops to talk and tease.
You got more. You're a PR man.
I've always recognized that I stepped into a school where we were living with a tradition that was very, very strongly put in place. If you look at the philosophy of the school today and the mission of the school today, we may use different words, but it's clearly that true that we are continuing the mission that we were brought here to fulfill with our kids.
Sister Lucille's mission was chosen for her.
When I went to the Sisters of Providence, I knew that I wanted to go to the community because I knew them as the happy sisters. I was taught by the Sisters of Providence, and as well as other communities. As far as what I would do when I became a Sister of Providence, we never really talked about that. And when it was time for me to go to college, I was sent off to college, and I finally said to somebody, "What am I preparing for?" And the dean of the college said to me, "If they didn't tell you, then you're in education." So that's how I got into education. I think it was providential. I've loved it. It's a wonderful profession to be in.
It's been 50 years since Sister Lucille arrived in Burbank for her first teaching job at St. Finbarr School. Later, she moved to St. Providence, first as a teacher, and then in 1986 as principal. The challenge was enormous.
Well, I think everyone knows that Providence High School was going through some very difficult days, and we faced the question of, was there a need for Providence High School any longer? Our enrollment was down. It seemed that we weren't attracting sufficient students to make it worth their while. We feel you have to have an arena that is large enough that discussion can take place, that exchange of ideas can take place, and you also have to have enough students so that you can afford to pay the teachers for the school. So as we looked at the question very seriously, we arrived at the conclusion that the need for Providence High School was probably over, and we announced we were closing. We said that our last graduating class would be the June of 1987, unless there was a dramatic turnaround. What happened was our parents, our graduates, came forward and said, what we have here and what we had when we were students here is so important that this school has to continue. And so we made a dramatic turnaround at Providence High School.
10 years later, validation, when Providence was awarded the prestigious designation as a National Blue Ribbon School.
None of that happens unless you have an outstanding faculty and staff, unless you have parents who are involved, unless you can show that the students who go to your school really are achieving the goals that you set up and say, this is what we will offer you, this is what will happen if you come to Providence High School.
Jake.
Since then, enrollment has increased steadily, and important new programs have been added in healthcare and media.
We're doing a video on drinking and driving.
Oh, okay. Teen drinking and driving, okay. Are you for it or against it?
Against it.
Good, I was glad to hear that. I just wanted to check and see before you powered it up. Some people tell me, and I agree with them, I've got the best job in the province because we've got a wonderful school, we've got all this energy, we've got all this youth around us. We're preparing the future citizens of this world, and we have an opportunity to make a difference in their lives.
With the school thriving, Sister Lucille now looks forward to retirement.
I think it's good to have turnover in leadership, and 19 years is plenty long. But I also think that the energy and the insights that someone new and someone younger can bring to the position will be very good for this school and very good for the future of this school.
But with her mission at St. Providence High School complete, will Burbank still be home?
I'll stay in Burbank for the foreseeable future. I'll serve in that. I have the privilege of serving on the board of directors of our Providence Health System, and so I will continue to be involved in that. I'll be involved in various committees of our religious community, which I currently am, and which take me out of Burbank to the meetings on the West Coast. So we'll do that, and then I probably will step back and do a little resting.
Sister Lucille's energy, vision, and leadership have made an extraordinary contribution to Burbank. For this, we honor Sister Lucille Dean as Burbank's Woman of the Year.
Bye-bye.